Josh, come on, buddy. Lift it back. Judges say 7.31 seconds.
Holy shit, it's bright. Alright guys, so this is today's Kiana's birthday. And I gotta go get her something. We just finished uploading all of the videos for the vacation week, so that's done. I got a different angle here. Never tried a video like this, so I'm gonna go for it. This is gonna be my day out looking for Kiki's present before she gets home. Hopefully we find something good. I don't have a lot of, I'm not made of money, so I was gonna make something, but we don't have anything here, and I can't think of a goddamn thing. So we're gonna go walk around Hallmark and see what we can figure out. Let's go for a drive. All right, gang, mission accomplished. We got a card. That's the first step. The card actually gave me a good improvision for the other parts of that. Wow, that's a bright reflection. So we got this. The card says, well, it's got a little chihuahua licking a cupcake, and it says, lick all the cupcakes. This is your day. But, so that gave me the idea. We're going to run over to Nothing Bundt Cakes, and they make gluten-free bundt cakes. Who would have thought? And she will like that. And then we'll go drop that off for her at her work. Hey, with these plans. So let's swing on over there. We'll drive now, and we'll pick one out. All right, guys. So we're already on to Plan C, disaster recovery mode. The bundt cakes take about 5 hours to make, and you have to call them in a day in advance. I don't have a day in advance. I have today in advance. So, meanwhile, Maserati just kind of hanging out at the Kroger. That's fun. Interesting. So we're going in to Kroger. We're going to find a gift bag, something nice, and some candy. She likes candy. So we'll find out what we get. All right, guys. So we went in. We got a bag and some, what's that called? Tissue paper. It looked pretty. We snagged together a huge rack of like 8 Reese's cups. That's nice. She likes those. There's like 7 or 8 Twix. She likes those too. We got her a slab of the Lindor like white chocolate. That's really nice. She likes that one. And then a box of Mike and Ike's, and just a millionaire right on top. I'm really happy with it. And the bag came with this little pouch for her card, and it's all nicely stacked in there, you know. So now the icing on the cake, or lack of cake at this point, is we're gonna drop this off at her work, and I'm just gonna walk in, set it down, and yeet the fuck out before she can say anything. Oh, luckily I also found a pen. I didn't have a pen. I couldn't run on the card. And I almost sealed it up before I saw the pen sitting here in the car, so that was a good crisis averted. But let's head on out to her place of business, and we'll drop this off. All right, guys. So it's been a couple days since the last update. I was gonna record every day, but that didn't happen. We made it to Minnesota. We're at Graham's house, chilling. Everyone's sleeping for now. But so to kind of fill in what happened, so Kiki's birthday went well. She liked her present. But that night, Daya, our newest, had 2 seizures, so we ran her to the ER. again, learned why I love our vet as much as we do. The ER does the best they can with what they have, and I understand the fact that, like, if somebody comes in screaming that their dog is hurt or whatever, they have to take that with a grain of salt and try to figure out the real problem. So us coming in with factual knowledge, you know, she had 2 seizures. The first one was 40 seconds. The second one was just a tad bit longer. We didn't finalize the count on that one, and you know, they seem to be sporadically from nothing. Their answer is, well, you know, seizure-like symptoms can be caused by this, that, and other thing. And I'm like, no, like, these weren't just seizure-like symptoms of something. These were genuine seizures. Like, having dealt with them before, in other cases, we know. Like, we're set. So, the vet comes in, and he wants to run a lot of tests. He wanted to ready up 2 injections of diazepam, which to give to our 1-year-old dog is absurd. That's a hard thing to just inject into a dog naturally, even in pill form. So those were kind of just out to begin with. But he wanted to run a blood glucose test to see if she was low on blood sugar, then a general CBC scan to check, you know, for any other kind of blood pathogens, you know, anything that was wrong with any of her organs, and just a general blood check to see what was happening, along with like a catheter and prescribing some long-term medication for seizures. We ended up turning down a lot of that, and he started with the blood glucose to see if she had anything wrong, and we gave him permission that if there was nothing wrong in that one, to run the full scan, because the full scan is obviously a lot more expensive than just checking if she's low on blood sugar. We did this because my thought process being, she had been with Kiki all day at work, playing, having a good time. She had breakfast, everything was fine. She was tired on the way home, like she was extra lethargic on the way home. She didn't eat dinner before the seizures happened, so she didn't re-up her meals, her vitamins, minerals, everything like that. So I'm thinking, after the entire day of play, she may either have already had or just today got a blood sugar problem, and that would cause it. But they came back fine, so ran the full CBC, and that came back fine as well. So it had been about an hour, and we have little to no answers. And we ended up just kind of pushing everything else to the table. So instead of the $1,000 they wanted to make us pay, we spent like 500 and something just on the 2 tests and an in-case catheter. So it wasn't until we got home, I think, and she was telling like her family about it over, that somebody suggested, oh, did she lick a toad? Because that'd do it. We got some big old Pepes in our backyard, and it's possible, she's only a year old, it's possible that she just licked a toad, and that's the reaction to the toad, which fits the bill of, like, this is an absurd thing that has never happened before. Like, this, it's not something that she's prone to that we know of. So that was Kiki's birthday. A good birthday. Moving into, what was the Wednesday, prepping for the drive and all that, we got all the crates hooked up on top of the car, packed up our bag for the last time. Kiki had her half day at work. Then yesterday, so today's Friday? Today's Friday. To think about that. So yesterday was Thursday. We drove 14 hours. Actually, maybe like 13 hours. It was pretty good. Pretty good speed on that one. Not a lot of traffic, not a lot of detours, things like that. Drive went well. Didn't have any car trouble. Not this time, which is good. Made it up safe and sound. Made it to parents' house and saw the neighbors, met all the dogs, got everybody acclimated, so that's going well. And then today we drove up the last 2 hours to Graham's house, where the majority of the family hangs out or shows up, things like that. Got everybody acclimated again to new animals, new smells, new sounds. Delilah just has a blast with the, like, it goes from here all the way quick behind me, all the way to in that tall grass is where their garden was, but it's overgrown since the years have gone by. But Delilah just loves the open space, running around, having a good time. And Darla and Daya have kind of accepted where they are. I think Darla's happy to be on the journey, but not so much having to do all of this stuff that comes with it. You know, like learning and being good and meeting new people and animals. She's not super into that, but she's doing right. She's sheltered. She just kind of hangs out, has a good time. Daya is just aloof and excited at the exact same time. Doesn't really care about anybody, just wants everyone to pet her, meet everything, smell everything, jump on, touch, bob, weave. Ball of, 1-year-old energy. That's what you get. But so that's the catch up for now. Tomorrow will be Saturday, so I think most of the family is going to try to come in tomorrow. We'll have some dinner, a bonfire, whatever. Haven't gotten a whole lot of pictures. I really intended to get more pictures and stuff, but it's my first try, so I get what I get and move on. So family coming in tomorrow. We'll see what happens then. Maybe a bonfire at some point. This is our bonfire area. We'll see what we can scrounge up in the way of firewood and burnables. And then we'll be here until Monday, and then we'll go back and we'll be visiting all the fun attractions. So if anything, I'll see you again in the mall or the zoo or wherever we end up going and getting some fun pictures and stuff. But I'll see you then. All right. So insert the talking head portion of this video, because I didn't get to record any more like actual footage at places, because I'm bad at this. I'm still new. But to highlight everything since that last little clip there, basically none of the family showed up. And the family we did see, we went out bowling with. So that was pretty fun. It was a nice day bowling. I didn't do too good, but found out that they have a party thing. That was pretty cool. Next up is we had a cooking session, and I learned about Spam musubis. I got a picture of them right here for you. Spam musubi is just a slice of Spam covered in rice, surrounded by, what is that, seaweed? Yeah. They're like magical. I liked Spam, I liked rice, and I liked seaweed before, but now, all together, it's basically Captain Planet. Then we went and saw some more of our family. We had to go drive and find them. They were at a mall. There's this place, it's like a Dick's Sporting Goods, but it's called Shields. It's a really, really real northern-like place to go, But they're like a sporting goods center. They were pretty cool. But in the mall, we found these. Fucking like crazy. I'd never seen this before. These are Dungeons and Dragons, like one-shot campaigns, I guess, where you have characters to pick from. It's like 2 to 5 players, and it's just a little like run through it. It says it takes like 90 minutes, to 2 hours, whatever. Like pretty quick little sessions, I guess, to get through and figure stuff out. I'm not sure what they're basing that on. I can't imagine a campaign like 90 minutes. And then I found this wicked fucking board game. They have the Dark Souls board game's been out, but this Bloodborne card game, it seems like a desecrated version of Munchkin, like true to the heart, as far as the games by James Seller was talking about. People buy the game routinely and are not ready for the amount of Bandai Namco that are stuck in that game still, even in card game form. So I'm super interested in that. I'm going to see if we can pick one of those up for TwitchCon, because I think it'd be a fun game to play with the gang, or at least the Dark Souls fans. But then we went back to your mom's house, and Kiki did the yard, and I cleared out all the gutters. Fucking gunk and shit for days. It was up on the roof for like an hour. just shoveling it out with an old like sandcastle shovel. Then we went to the zoo. The zoo was an amazing time. We've been to the zoo once before. This is the like Minnesota like state, the Minneapolis like city zoo. This portion here is the like arboretum, the plant zone, and that kid really got in my way. And this side is like walking into like the zoo proper. Like behind this is the outside of the zoo. I didn't get too many pictures in here, but we got some fish. We got some like snake boy there. There were flamingos, but they were they were cleaning the flamingo tank, and I was like, "Where's all their water? Like, what the fuck is this?" And then there was a guy like way out there spraying it off. But these like ducks were hanging out and eating the food that the flamingos were eating. You know, I guess a free meal is a free meal, so they were pretty good. Got this action shot of our our friend leading her battle tortoise into a Pokemon fight. I saw some monkeys. These were little lemur things, and they were pretty cute. This one had a little mustache. It's really fucking tiny. But a sloth, he seemed pretty confused on where he wanted to be. He was like into the bucket and then out of the bucket and then back into the bucket. But he was having a good time, and there was some more little orangutans in there and hanging around, and saw some more of them. This guy was playing with the kids. Kind of creepy, actually. Then we get out to the gorillas, and they were just chilling in the shade here, waving at people, because they, I guess, learned to wave at people. There were zebras. There was also a caribou in there somewhere. We saw some ostriches and this reticulated giraffe. I don't know why they were ridiculing him, but the ostrich was giving me the creepy eye. Then we saw these bobcats, or cougars, or whatever. They were playing with this bucket, so he was jumping around a lot. I didn't get to really get a good picture of him. Then we saw this little guy, snow leopard, chilling, getting his big old paws on. He was having a good time. Reindeer. So, you guys, believe it or not, reindeer exist. I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute. I thought reindeer were fucking made up to pull Santa's sleigh. They're fucking real. Look at these bad boys. They're like regular deer with furry horns. I was blown away. There's also a camera there, so they've got like a feed to watch them outside of the place. But they're pretty neat. They were just chilling out, having a good time. Hanging out next to the bison pin. These dudes were also just chilling. It was pretty early in the morning, so they weren't like super hot yet, and they were all pretty active. I was pretty amazed. The seal was here. His exhibit is getting redone, so they had him just kind of in this smaller area. There was somebody in there chilling with him, and then he was there by himself, just hanging out, swimming around. We go back to the aquarium side, and I found these bladefish. These are pretty cool. They were in the seahorse thing, but they're literally razor thin. I've never seen anything like them, so that was a neat thing to check out. Then we get to the arboretum, that first place. This was crazy. Like, this was just an amalgamation of just plants and animals everywhere, just chilling in like a big old like rainforest style building. These roses from Chicago Peace, I guess, Chicago Peace rose. They caught my eye. Like that vibrance in like the pink veins and the green edges, like that's just not something you see. This is a good action shot of kind of the small globe area with this statue chick's booty hole. Just a lot of growth and like humidity, just keeping them like alive. It's like a little greenhouse. But this like atrium goes into the next room over where there's like fucking whole pine trees and palm trees and all kinds of worldwide Caribbean based like plant life. You know, it's humid, it's hot, it's moistish for them. It was pretty neat. Then we get outside and they had this nice pond, because Minnesota's the land of 10,000 lakes. So this cool little pond here. There's a waterfall by that gazebo, which is pretty nice and peaceful. So then we got back home in time to go see the State Fair Derby. This was an autocross I was thinking motorcycles, but auto just meaning car, automobile, which was pretty fucking neat. So I got some regular, like, standard photos, and then I took a video or two. So we'll go ahead and roll those now.
Checkers flag away. 4, 3, 2, 1, green flag. Flag, 1 lap to go. That's Brady Fink, your points champion right there in that Subaru. That's Bob Knudsen. Last week's winner, 59, Bob Knudsen. Whoa, 55 left, 5 out front.
Hi, me again. So yeah, then they had this this little forklift that he was out just chilling and helping push people once they'd wasted their car and tugging them out of the dirt bank here like this. But it was a pretty neat thing. They started out with the low end, like 4-cylinder tiny cars, and then moved up to like the bigger 4-cylinders and then 6-cylinders and then full on like full bodied trucks and shit. They had this big old boy out here that was redoing the berm all the time. This guy blew out his fucking car. But, this guy flipped over like entirely. And I think I took a video. Yeah, I took a video of them ripping him over. So, in here, you can see that he's still fucking like in the car when they drop it back down. Like, he was just chilling in the seat. Like, nah, I'm good. Just flip me over, Dad. I gotta go. But then they started releasing out a bunch of cars. They were catching on fire and flipping over. Had a bunch of fun stuff. The next day we came back when it wasn't the end of the day, and we saw like the animals. So we've started in like the small pen where these are, I guess, students that have like, these are just pets on their farm and showing how well they're taken care of and stuff, like the rabbits and ducks and shit. Then we stopped over to the pig pens where they were showing off their hogs. And there's some big boys. I didn't realize pigs were as big as they are, but these boys are fucking huge. And they're really just really weird animals. They're nice to look at. I enjoy like watching them, but taking care of them would be weird because once you touch them, they're all like briny and like sweaty. Like they don't sweat, but they're just moist. Like somebody bathes them or like waters them down, and they feel like a sweaty forehead. Like it's not okay. But then there was the petting zoo area, and we got a picture of this Scottish cow, and so I immediately sent this to Tubbs, our Scottish boy, and he was like, "Oh, it's my dad." And we all laughed, and they had some baby piglets hanging out. Then we get back home at the end of this day, and I replaced some toilets, like nasty fucking toilets, like 2 of them in a day. It was pretty fun. Then we went to my mistake. We were at the Como Zoo. That was the free zoo. Holy shit, that whole Arboretum thing was the free zoo. This was the Minnesota Zoo. Send a picture of this to Llama. But this was the map of the zoo. This place is fucking huge. Like, I don't think there's not a legend of distance on here, but it's massive. And it took us about 2 hours to walk through, not really stopping for a whole lot. But it was pretty big. Like, that's That's a pretty big thing. Then we get to the Mall of America. I didn't get a whole lot of pictures inside the Mall of America the next day, but I did get this. These are murals that somebody made out of the tiny little 1 square Lego bits, which were pretty fucking neat. And then on the Lego exhibit as well, all of these guys are built out of Legos. The motorcycle, the Minotaur, the tower, like anything on there that isn't the flat platform is 100% built in Lego. I'm sure they're glued together or whatever. Also, I think the rope that guy's parasliding down is not Lego. It's just a regular rope. But they got fucking Gundam G-Force Lego shit. They got a helicopter, some dude with a water gun. The whole store is just full of Lego stuff, and there are like automated computers where you can scan the barcode and you can see like what the Lego thing will look like after you've put it together or whatever, and see like what other products go with it and shit. There's the Crayola store, which is like everything Crayola. There's a whole like other half of this building that's like the Crayola experience, where it's like a kid's demo on how to do art and shit. And they've got literally everything Crayola's ever made in their life. But this is a good like pie cut of one of the squares. This is usually the room where they put in like their Christmas tree and all their like holiday decorations. But this motherfucker is 4 floors. All right, this is the Mall of America. It's 4 fucking floors. There's that other game by James. I didn't see that was there. And it's 4,600,000 square feet, or I don't know what that is in meters. Divide by 3 for meters. So another ungodly number of meters squared. It's massive. It took us about 3 hours just to walk through and then go back and like actually look at stores that we wanted to see. But then the next day, we took a day out, not going shopping, not doing a whole lot. We took a day off. This is the border of Minnesota. This is the Mississippi River. We went out to Wabasha. That name still makes me laugh. Named after an Indian chief. This is Wabasha II, the chief, I guess, that colonialized with the white men the most and made it into a good town. That bridge goes across. Wisconsin is that other side of the water there. So, hi, Wisconsin. We were out there eagle watching, because apparently eagles like to hang out there on the bluffs. Then we went into an ice cream shop that had a bunch of native collector things. I don't know if these were still being made or if they were just there, but you could buy all that. And the ice cream shop sold ice cream that was like pure, fresh, handmade. It was really fucking good. And then we drove over into Wisconsin. This is in La Crosse. This is the top of a bluff in Wisconsin. So we're about really fucking high in the air. And that is just the view of Wisconsin. You can see out in the distance there is the river again, and across the way is Minnesota again. There was also a wedding going on, so we couldn't take a whole lot of pictures. We couldn't really get around very much, but the fucking wedding was annoying. Then we went back on the next day, or no, it was that night. Went back that night to the bull riding competition in that same little sector of dirt that the autocross was in, and this was fucking crazy. This dude lit the ground on fire, and he was announcing all the bull riders, and they were all hanging out up front. And then they started announcing the horse barrel racers in the back of those ladies there. And then he announced out like the winners, and these 3 guys in front with the blue and red stars. They're the bullfighters. They're the jockeys that like slap the bull around and give the rider time to get away once he falls off or gets hooked like a motherfucker. So that was pretty fun. We got to see a lot of that. We'll roll some clips of the bull riding here. Some of them coming out the gate. They're pretty nice. And some of the kids on the mud derby where they ride sheep.
Your judges carry stopwatches, and 3 stops left after this one. Name and leave Lima to Lima. The game on. Liverpool jumping on top. Come on. This ball is going to be taken down. The U.S. team up down 4-0. He's from Texas, giving up Minnesota hospitality. Judges say 82 points for your Cowboys. After the bull riding up here, the bull riders, bullfighters, and bull ride entertainer will come on out. Your champion, Elk River, Belgium, Wisconsin, Northwoods, Iowa, Freeport, Illinois. She won Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. She won Farmington, Minnesota. Ken, the number 1 ranked Cowboy here tonight. She's a blonde, she's a beauty. She's saying, baby. Folks, you just seen why. She's your number 1 ranked cowgirl. New leader, 1321.
Then we had a nice like bonfire, just chilling in the backyard overnight to get ready for our last day there. We went to the theme park. This is Valley Fair. It's the Minnesota version of like Six Flags, just a roller coaster tycoon place. It's a lot of fun. So this one here was the high roller. This is the oldest, slowest roller coaster in the place. And Kiki's family has a tradition of riding like the smaller ones first and working their way up to like the massive, crazy fucking 71 mile an hour roller coasters. And I didn't get a whole lot of other pictures here. We got some Dippin' Dots because they had Liberty Ice. Yeah, fighting communism one drop of liquid nitrogen ice cream at a time. But that was fun. We spent the whole day here. We rode the octopus and stuff. These are the swings. These swings kind of swing around in a circle and they go like fucking 100 feet in the air. This green coaster in the back here is the last coaster of the day that we rode. And it's the one that goes 70 miles an hour. It's terrifying. It's got a nearly sheer drop, and I really wish I'd have got more footage or pictures of all this, but I didn't. We got the front gate at lunchtime. That was nice. And then we spent the rest of the day in the water park that was there. But that was our entire trip. And the next day we drove home. I got some pictures of these little lilies on the way out. Here's our drive home. We were stopped in Iowa. It was 66 degrees, I guess. I don't know, 69 degrees. Pretty funny. But all in all, this was our trip. We had a blast. I want to try to take more vlog footage. I want to try to get more recordings, things like that. And I want to get more life in my YouTube content. The gaming is fun. The gaming is a lot of my time, but like seeing what I do out of like this singular room is also like part of me, and I want to share that with you guys. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Give it that like button. Comment if you think that it was all right, if it was trash. You know, criticism creatively, I guess. Critique me. What should I have focused on a little better? Should I have, tried to get more footage? Is this all right? Things like that. Hit that subscribe button. Next video will be some more Savtech Ages next week or in a couple days. We're going to go back into cranking out that. We're back on the streaming schedule, so follow me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Kazarny. Links are down below. You can join the Discord there. We play Minecraft on a server hosted by MC Pro Hosting. It's running Enigmatica 2, the light version, just because we got a lot of people playing and only one server. But you guys have a really, really, really amazing day. I'm really happy if you finished out this video. I'm so thankful that you would do that. And I will see you in the next video or on Twitch. Bye.